Assalamu alaikum. This is D2 Mathematics 8th edition, chapter 7, direct and inverse proportion. And we are going to solve practice now 3, that is on page number 213. And after solving practice now 3, you should be able to solve exercise 7a, question number 10 till 14, because these are the similar questions on the similar pattern. So let's start solving these questions. It further consists of 4 parts and we are going to solve one by one. The very first thing is you need to read and understand the question carefully. The first thing is the cost. The cost is what? C dollar of transporting goods is directly proportional to the distance covered, and the distance over here is given d kilometers. So it means कि let's solve it step by step. The cost C of transporting good is directly proportional. So find an equation connecting C and D. The very first thing is that C is directly proportional to D according to this statement. Okay. So we have written this statement over here, and then they're saying the cost of transporting goods over a distance of 60 kilometers. Now the distance means D over here is 60 kilometers, and cost is what? This is cost now. Cost is 100. So as you all know, we need to convert this into an equation, and for that we need to remove the sign of proportionality. And whenever we remove the sign of proportionality, we introduce a constant, and that constant is always k. When I remove this sign of proportionality, C is equals to kd. Now this is not solved yet because we have to find the value of k over here. The value of k we are going to find by using these two values that are given here. Distance is 60 and cost is 100. It means that in place of C I am going to substitute 100, and in place of D I am going to substitute 60. So let's do that. So we know k what is the value of k. C over here is 100 is equals to k into D is 60. As I have to find the value of k, so I need to isolate this variable k. This 60 is multiplying by this k. When I will move it to the other side, it will divide by 100. So let's just solve this. 100 divided by 60 is equals to k. 0 से 0 cancel. 2 3s is 6. 2 5s is 10. So k is equals to 5 upon 3. This is part 1 solved. Substitute this value into the original equation, this one. So we get C is equals to 5 upon 3 k. Now this is the equation connecting C and D. C is equals to 5 upon 3 k. Now in part 2 they are saying you find the cost of transporting goods over a distance of 45 kilometers. Now the value of D is given, that is 45 kilometers, and we are going to use the same equation that we have just found. C is equals to 5 upon 3 k. Now sorry, this is not k, this is D over here. So this is D. C is equals to 5 upon 3 D. Now the value of D is given over here, that is 45. So I am simply going to substitute it over here. C is equals to 5 upon 3 into D is 45. Keeping in mind that this 3 is in the denominator. Now C is equals to 5 upon 3, 45. Just cancel it out. 3 1s are 3, 3 5s are 15. And 5 into 15 is what? 5 5s are 25. 5 1s are 5, 6, 7. That is 75. So C is equals to 75. And distance is 45 kilometer. Cost is $75. Clear? Now let's solve part 3 as well. If the cost of transporting goods is $120, calculate the distance covered. Now we are going to use the same equation that we just found, that is C is equals to 5 upon 3D. And now we know the cost over here. The cost is $120. So I am going to substitute this value over here in place of C. 120 is equals to 5 upon 3 D. I need to isolate this variable D as I have to find the value of D. So what I am going to do, I am going to move these numbers one by one. This 3 is in the denominator, means it is dividing by this D. When I will move it to the other side, it will multiply by 120. And 120 multiply by 3. Now let's see, this 5 is multiplying by this d. When I will move it to the other side, it will divide. So, d. And d is isolated. Now, let's just simplify this one. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, and 5 fours are 20. 24 multiplied by 3. 24 multiplied by 3 is equals to d. And that will give you the answer. D is equals to 72. Okay, now part 4 of practice now 3. Draw the graph of C against D. So in this, we know that in the question they have clearly specified that C is directly proportional to D, and we have found the connecting equation of C and D as well in part 1. That was that C is equals to 5 upon 3D. Now what you need to do is that in order to draw and plot a graph, I have plotted a rough graph over here. You don't need to plot the graph, the very first thing. This part only requires one statement that you need to write, but for your understanding I'm drawing a graph over here. These two values that I have taken, when distance is 60, the cost was 100. It was given in the question कि distance is 60 and cost is 100. And the second one, I have chosen these two values. In part 2 we have found that when distance was 45, so cost was 75. So I have chosen these two pair. I'm not taking the values of part 3 as they are quite larger. So the thing is that you have the connecting equation, so you can take any smaller value as well. Just choose any value, and let's suppose say that if I'm saying that distance is 30 kilometers, if d is equals to 30, so what will be the cost? Substitute it over here, 5 upon 3 into 30. So 3 tens are 30 and 5 tens are 50. The cost will be 50. So let's add this as well in the chart. When distance is 30, the cost is 50. It's quite smaller, so we can choose this as well. When distance, I have chosen distance on x-axis while the cost is on y-axis. Okay, so when distance is 30, my cost is 50. That will come over somewhere here on the line. Okay, so you see this. The only thing, when two quantities are directly proportional to each other, so their straight line will have to pass through the origin. Or you can conclude that if any straight line that is passing through the origin, so you can conclude that these two quantities are directly proportional to each other. So you just have to simply write down one statement that, as we already know that C is directly proportional to D, so the straight line will pass through the origin. That's it.